The extra layer you may need early on this morning can go away into the back seat by midday and early into the afternoon. A beautiful, spectacular early spring day. Temperatures in the low 70s. Unless you're a seasonal allergy sufferer, Oak is exploding with activity right now. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Mike Burris tracking a really nice Thursday as well. Ahead of our next rainmaker that has implications for the Friday morning drive and maybe even into the afternoon rush as well. And it looks like Saturday may be a little bit on the dreary and somewhat drizzly side if you are holding on to plans for the weekend. You can listen to Mike's First Alert 5-day forecast for your weekend 4 times an hour during Jacksonville's morning news until 10 a.m. You can always get it on the go and listen to Mike's Deep Dive Weather podcast in the WOKV app and on WOKV.com on-demand audio. Jax Beach Police, as of this recording, continuing to search for multiple shooters involved in the St. Patrick's Day Sunday night deadly shootings. At least one suspect described by police in the deadly shooting that occurred. A young 21-year-old man lost his life outside of Sneakers, and we're hearing from more witnesses, the harrowing 911 calls, and also working to find out what sort of surveillance images may have been captured from the city's cameras that they have in place. There was some confusion in reporting out in the early hours of whether or not any of that may have been captured on surveillance. Part of our team coverage at WOKV.com. At least 3 suspects wanted in the other shooting, which left at least 3 people injured on Sunday night. We're continuing to follow all angles of this story and any potential security changes that may be coming for other big beach events over the coming months and a year in Jacksonville Beach. The next big inflection point is going to be the blessing of the beaches and the opening of the beaches in late April. The other big story, obviously, in Florida is the wide margin of victory for former President Trump in the Florida presidential preference primary. Well over 80% of the overall Republican vote going Trump's way. Perhaps the one notable was how far of a distant third Governor Ron DeSantis finished in his home state, despite his suspension of his campaign much earlier than former Governor Nikki Haley of South Carolina. Haley finishing second overall in the state and across Northeast Florida as well, which is home for Governor Ron DeSantis. It's really the only takeaway, given that Trump's margin of victory was so wide in the Florida presidential preference primary. Federal appeals court putting the brakes on another angle to a Texas immigration law as we see this legal whiplash playing out in the state of Texas between federal courts and the U.S. Supreme Court. We're diving deeper into some of the results of that ruling that was just issued in the overnight hours. Much more comprehensive coverage of these and other stories throughout Jacksonville's morning news. We're live and local until 10 a.m. Make sure you get our breaking news, weather, and traffic alerts when you download for free the WOKV app.